Hey, what's up, Earth? It's Spaceman Man here to talk about the 7th episode of the 2nd season of Star Trek Discovery called Light and Shadows. In this episode, we finally find where Spock is. Michael decides to see Amanda on the Vulcan homeworld, and she finds that she's actually harboring Spock, who seems to be demented. He's quoting some Vulcan logic and Alice in Wonderland and some other things, and he's writing these numbers on the wall. So while that's all going on, Captain Pike and Ash Tyler go to investigate this time anomaly that is still around the planet Kaminar, and it may give them a clue as to who or what the Red Angel is and what time it comes from. So they go into the time anomaly to collect some data. I guess at first they send a probe, but then Captain Pike and Ash Tyler go in because the probe disappears. But then at some point the probe seems to have been augmented in some way. It kind of reminds me of Nomad in the original series episode, The Changeling, I believe that was called. So something has changed their probe and made it into this killer machine that goes after the shuttle. So eventually Steinmetz has to go in and rescue them, and he's not as affected by the time rift or whatever because of his connection with the mycelial network. So he's able to rescue them, and in the meantime, that augmented probe, that alien augmented prober, has somehow got into the Discovery systems, and it seems to have also infected Arium, that cyborg crewmate that looks like, it reminds me of Mega Man from Nintendo. So somehow she's, it seems like she's been infected somehow. So hopefully that'll play out in future episodes. And it's interesting, we'll get to see what she actually is, because I don't know if she's like a cyborg, or was she human originally, is she an alien, or is she an alien cyborg, is she a robot, is she like Isaac from the Orville, or something different? We don't know what she is, but hopefully we'll find out. So by the end of this episode, Michael Burnham realizes that the numbers that Spock has been writing out are actually coordinates to Talos 4, and that's the planet from the cage with those big brainy aliens. Now that this is confusing me as far as whether this takes place before or after the events of the cage episode. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. So had they visited Talos 4 before and not known about it, or or is this taking place after they had visited Talos 4 and they actually went back there before the events of the menagerie, which is much later on. So overall, a lot goes on. Not much is concluded, but we did get to see Spock. So we are progressing, hopefully, to an interesting ending. And it was okay. It was an okay episode, but it is kind of frustrating with these long, stretching story arcs. It takes a while to get to a conclusion, and we hope that it's going to be a satisfying conclusion. Well, that's all for now. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.